House Republicans blocked a resolution calling for Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment and remove President Trump from office. The resolution was introduced as Democrats move forward with efforts to try and impeach President Donald Trump with less than 10 days left in his term. Sources tell NBC that Vice President Pence is unlikely to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove the president from office. This morning's resolution needed unanimous consent to pass, but Democrats can now bring it up for a floor vote tomorrow.
21, resolution calling on Vice President Michael R. Pence to convene and mobilize the principal officers of the executive departments of the cabinet to activate Section 4 of the 25th Amendment to declare President Donald J. Trump incapable of executing the duties of his office and to immediately exercise powers as acting president.
For what purpose does the gentleman from West Virginia rise?
I object.
Objection is heard.
Meanwhile, CNN reports House Democrats formally introduced a resolution today to impeach the president and charge him with incitement of insurrection. It points to the president's repeated false claims that he won the election and his speech to a crowd on January 6th, just before his supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol. It also cites the president's call to Georgia's Secretary of State, where he urged Brad Raffensperger to, quote, find enough votes to change the election results here in Georgia.